Hello, everyone, and welcome to Speak Up Sis Podcast. This is the place where everyday women and men have an opportunity to share their stories in order to inspire yours. We say what you think nobody wants to hear, but everybody needs to know. I'm your host, Angel Charmaine. Tonight is a special edition of Speak Up Sis Podcast. I have been inviting this amazing woman into the space for a few episodes now. She won't be a stranger to you when you see her, but she and I have been chopping it up outside of the podcast, and we decided that we would use our superpowers together like Thundercats. Oh, yeah. And we would create some valuable content for you all, especially those of you who are entrepreneurs and business owners or aspiring entrepreneurs and business owners. So I would like to welcome my brand spanking new co-host to Speak Up Sis Podcast for our very new segment entitled Encouraging Experts. Charnell Williams, welcome back to Speak Up Sis Podcast, and welcome home, girl.
Thank you so much. This is a huge opportunity for me, right? Because when we met, I was telling you I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, right? I'm telling my clients, you have to step out of your comfort zone to, get the results you want. And I'm being that example. So I just appreciate you so much for seeing something in me.
Yes.
and entrusting me, on your platform to, speak to your audience. I guess now our audience. I got to get used to that. But yeah, I just thank you so much, and I just love what you're doing, and I love you. I just thank you.
Thank you. So listen, all of this, thank you. Because I'm honored. I'm honored to have you in the space. I remember when you reached out, it was just a regular kind of reach out, right? Someone wanting to be on the podcast. I'm saying, okay, let's go ahead and get it. There are lots of people who've been on the show. I connect with people all the time, but even the studio guys, right? Even Gary and Mike were like, there's something there. So I'm honored. I really am. So I would like for us to spend this time tonight sharing with our audience exactly what we've come up with, what we've decided to do. And I do want to spend some time allowing you to sort of introduce yourself a bit more, because I want them to know what qualifies you as the expert. And I'll share a little bit about why I feel qualified to be considered an encourager. And we can let them know tonight how this segment of the podcast is going to go. Is that okay with you?
Sounds good to me.
All right. So go ahead and tell the people a little bit about who you are, Charnell Williams.
Oh, man. So there's so many layers to me. I wear so many hats, right? I am a mom. I'm a wife. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter. I'm a big sister. I'm a little sister. I'm a boss. I'm a leader, and I'm a busy person. Now I am a co-host. So
I love it. I love to hear that.
If I didn't already have enough hats, I added on another one, but I accept it, and I know the chemistry between you and this was a no-brainer for me. But I'm a Jersey girl. I was born and raised in New Jersey. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia. This year makes 20 years. I've been.
So you're really a Georgia girl. That's
yeah. At this point, yeah. I mean, my mother was born and raised in Georgia, so I was deeply rooted in Georgia anyway, right?
Right.
So, but I moved to Atlanta to go to college. Mm-hmm. So I went to Clark Atlanta University.
Okay.
Studied mass communications with a concentration in public relations. I originally started off in business, and my major was in finance, but I don't like math, so I switched majors. But anyway, so I just, I started my business. I knew working my part-time job or working any job, I was just like, how can people do this for 8 hours? I mean, I would get restless, I would get annoyed.
Right.
And I said, I always knew I wanted to have my own business, be a leader. And I just love helping people. So it just made sense to me to start a business. So I hustle hard, while in.
About how old were you when you made this decision? Like, I'm just gonna be an entrepreneur. I'm on my own business, do my own thing. About what age were you?
I was 22. Because before I started my cleaning service, I had a summer camp.
Right.
So then the following year, I started my cleaning service. So yeah, I was 22, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And the thing is, my mindset is I always think about the future. Mm-hmm. So I knew at 22, when I, eventually got married, I knew I wanted to be home with my children. I knew I wanted to have that flexibility to say, if my child is sick, or if my child has a recital or a sporting event, or whatever, I wanted to be able to go without having to ask someone, hey, can I put time in a request to, take time off? So I knew that was important to me. And I knew the importance and how influential I wanted and needed to be to my children. So I said, okay, I need to start making some moves now while I'm single. I'm not married. It's just me. I can hustle hard at that point.
So at that time, you knew that entrepreneurship was your route.
Yeah.
But did you know that cleaning would be that route, or did it matter to you? Were you just like, whatever works and I like, I'm going to do it? No, cleaning wasn't it.
I got on Google and I looked up businesses and I said, okay, cleaning. So I met with different cleaning franchises. And when I was, discussing the process and their setup, the fees that I would have to pay them, I said I could put that towards my own marketing. So that's what I did.
Gotcha.
And that way I had more freedom, because even under a franchise, you still have certain rules and regulations you have to follow because you're under their licensure. So I was like, no, I don't know if that was just me being stubborn, or I don't know what it is, but I'm glad I did.
So I totally understand this idea of freedom. I actually have free tattooed right here on my arm, because for me, freedom is everything.
Right.
Financial freedom, time freedom, like freedom. If you could put freedom on it, that's it for me. So the idea of having someone pull strings, you can, you can't, maybe you can do this, maybe you won't be able to do that. I totally understand that. So I want to back up for a moment, because I think when people hear like cleaning business, it sounds like you didn't go into the franchise world. I believe I know some people who started their cleaning businesses as franchisees.
Yeah.
And so it is a business, and they do have their own business. It's just as a franchise.
Right. Right. And it's no shade to them because I know people who who are part of the franchise umbrella and they're very successful.
Right.
Like they have $1 million cleaning services.
Exactly.
So no shade, but it just wasn't for me. And that's another thing being in business, understanding what is for you and doing what's best for you and not, following someone else's mold.
Right.
What God told me to do is different from what he told you to do.
Exactly.
God didn't tell me to start a podcast.
Exactly. And,
right. And owning that and being okay, and that is okay.
Being okay with whatever it is you're supposed to be
right doing. Because that's where your blessings are.
Yes.
My blessings weren't going to come from starting a podcast.
Not if that's not what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Yeah, no, you're just going to have a lot of headache and heartache and stress. And now you're going to be angry with people and people are not going to like you and it's just not going to work.
Absolutely.
It's just not going to work. All right, so let's move on a bit because we could be here all night. I want to let everybody know that this is just an intro to Encouraging Experts. That's the name of the segment. The segment will air every third Monday of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be an in-studio segment. So, hey, listen, the energy is going to be crazy. We're going to invite guests into the building. Charnell's going to invite someone. I'm going to invite someone. The four of us will sit and chop it up in studio. So if you're interested in that, you can always connect with Speak Up Sis Podcast, and we'll let you know about that later. But I want you to kind of lead us into what qualifies you to sit in this space and say, I'm an expert at entrepreneurship?
Well, sometimes, and let me just speak for myself, right? I didn't wake up one day and say, oh, I'm an expert, I know it all. No, I have coaches. I have people that train me as well, right? And any coach you get needs to have a coach.
Yes. If your coach ain't got no coach, you might want another coach.
Right. I didn't consider myself an expert until people kept coming to me, Charnell, well, how do you do this? How do you start that? Oh, Charnell, you help me with this. And I'm like, really? Me? It was second nature to me, right? So for me to tell them that, I still don't consider myself an expert, I guess. But I'm knowledgeable. I do acknowledge that. And I just love helping people. If someone says anything to me about business, I'm like, okay, well, how are you marketing? Where are your people coming from? I'm just that passionate about it. So that's what led me into becoming a consultant to help others. Because now I'm seeing that, okay, people are actually valuing my opinion and they're getting results. So I said, okay, maybe I do know something. So
exactly. It's in the results, right? It's the receipts.
Right. So, but I didn't wake up saying, yeah, I've been in business 14 years. I know everything. No, I'm still learning. I have a coaching session tomorrow.
Yeah.
that I meet with my coach every week.
And I was just telling you prior to getting on here, I was just sharing with Charnell about a 6-week intensive that I paid good money for. To be connected to a coach so that I could learn some things. And for me, it was more mindset shifting. I don't think people understand the value of mindset.
Right.
And so this particular coach is more of a mindset coach. But let me tell you, I learned some things in there that really helped to propel me forward to own being a CEO of a company. Right. A lot of us, we're entrepreneurs. We'll say we're small business owners. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an owner. I'm a founder. But we sort of shy away from standing up as the chief executive officer. Like, no, I run this company right now. And some of us are the CFOs and as when, and the other, the other major players, because we're still building teams. So mindset was super important for me. And I realized I am going to stagnate myself if I do not get some help dealing with how I see business, understand business, and how I see myself as the leader of a business. So yes, most definitely coaches need coaches. And if you're working with someone who doesn't have a mentor, a teacher, a coach, someone, you're dealing with someone who might not have a teachable spirit, it's going to be very difficult for you to learn from someone who has stopped learning.
It's but so much they can tell you.
Only but so much they can tell you. Exactly. So, all right. So that's what, so tell us what you're going to be sharing with the people. What can they expect to get from? And just let me say, I call her the expert. She didn't call herself an expert. We were thinking about names for the segment, and I was like, encouraging experts. Like, we're encouraging you all as experts in your own arenas, and we are encouraging experts in our own arena. So
it's a good balance.
Yeah.
Because you need that. You like you said, the mindset. And then also to that, the spiritual aspect of it too. Because there are times when all I had was God. Right? Like, so, but we're not gonna go there because we only got 30 minutes.
So we'll be here, girl, because we could be here all night. So if you are watching on YouTube, which is where we would love for you to come and visit us, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Tonight we're having a giveaway. Our last episode, Tamika Simmons was in the building. She won a $50 cash giveaway prize because she subscribed to Speak Up Sis YouTube, and she was actually in the conversation on YouTube throughout, and so she was our winner. So tonight we are going to be giving away yet another cash prize. So please make sure you run on over to Speak Up Sis YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and then come chop it up with us on YouTube so we can see that you're there, so that you can have an opportunity to win this money tonight. Okay? All right. So let's get back into it. I'm the encourager. I think for the most part, if you've been paying any attention to Speak Up Sis podcast, you know why that's why I will play that role in this partnership. I am a relatively new entrepreneur. I started my first LLC, Speak with Chic LLC, in September of 2017. That actually turned into Speak Up Sis LLC, August of 2018. So August will be 3 years that Speak Up Sis has actually been alive and recognized by the state of Georgia as well as the federal government, right? So we've been in full-on business as an LLC. This August will be 3 years. So I say I'm relatively new at it. I'm not as new as some, but still very, very green. So I'm not going to be operating as necessarily an expert, but more of an expert in what I'm good at. And that is encouraging. Let me tell you, if there is something you want to do that you think you can't do, that you ain't been able to do, I'm your girl. I'm going to make sure you don't quit on yourself while Charnell is helping to give you the tools, the strategies, the techniques, the tips, all the good sound advice that's been proven from the receipts that she has She's going to be giving you all that good stuff. And then I'm going to be over here rubbing your back while you cry and make sure that you don't stay on the ground and that you get back in the game. So you're getting all of that right here every third Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Charnell, you can jump in anytime. Listen, you are no longer the guest. You're no longer the guest.
But what you were saying goes back to the balance, right? That we need to have in business, because we'll lose our mind one way or another, right? We could be so happy and, oh, everything is so great, but we're not making things happen. We're not doing the work. We're not putting in the work, or we put in too much work, but we losing our mind.
Right.
You gotta have a balance. And then we embrace, and we want to hear from you all to say, this is what I'm dealing with. Charnell, how would you handle this? What do you think I should do? Angel, I'm about to lose my mind. What can I do? What tips can you give me to stay sane during this process? So we welcome and invite your questions. If you want to be on the spotlight where we say, hey, talk to us, tell us what's going on. We're here. Tell me, how can we help? Because that's what we want to do. We have a servant's heart. We want to help, and it's genuine, so just, email us at contact@speakupsis.com if you have any questions. We would love to hear from you and, answer any questions you may have.
Yeah, please submit your questions. Again, like Charnell said, to contact@speakupsis.com. If you have some specific questions about business or entrepreneurship or starting a business or dissolving a business or whatever, all of your entrepreneurial business questions, please submit them, and we will have them answered. Charnell also mentioned spotlighting a business, and just listen, everybody. This thing, we're going to ebb and flow. You all know me by now. There's organization and there's structure. At the same time, we want to make sure that we're providing you with the value that you need when you show up. So we want to start by spotlighting a business. So if you have a business already, or maybe you're thinking about a business, maybe you have your business plan, but you haven't started,
you don't know
just submit that to contact@speakupsis.com. You don't have to give us any proprietary information or anything like that. But you can submit your business. Make sure you send us the web address, your social media handles. We'll take a look at the different businesses, and then we will have a business spotlight, and we will give you feedback about your business. And if you have specific questions that you would like to ask us about the business, if there's something specific you would like us to take a look at, then you can most definitely submit that along with your business. We're also, I'm going to say it again, because tell them, Charnell, we have fun in the studio.
We do. And I want to point out something. What we're offering costs hundreds of dollars. We charge hundreds of dollars for what we're offering you all for free. So take advantage of it. And that's another thing I always tell my clients: take advantage of the free resources you have at your disposal. And this is a free resource because we're committed. We're here. We've been there, done that, doing it. So ask us, talk to us. We're, let us know, we aren't afraid.
No. And here's the thing about being able to submit your questions and concerns ahead of time. We're meeting once a month. That gives us time to get your questions, to research if we need to research, to actually, if you send us something and we're like, that one, then we have an opportunity to actually go learn something to be able to help you. Not only that, we are inviting guests into the studio. So if your business is highlighted or spotlighted, then we may invite someone who's an expert in finance. We may invite someone who's a tech expert. We may invite someone into the space who will be able to help you with your business. So again, utilize the resource. We were trying to figure out how can we do this. Like we went into Clubhouse.
Right. Didn't work.
It didn't work for us. Right? Instagram turned into something different. I ended up doing something. Charnell ended up doing something. So we were like, what is this? And I was like, why are we running away from the podcast?
Right.
It's already there. It's already viable. So let's use the platform that's already established. So Charnell, we got 4 minutes left. That's why we're going to have an hour-long show.
Right.
Encouraging Experts is going to be an hour-long episode. So we'll have plenty of time because 30 minutes is just not enough.
No, it's not.
Just not enough. I don't see any questions. No one has typed anything in the chat for us. So there isn't anything for me to answer on YouTube. I haven't been keeping an eye on the Facebook because I want you to come over to YouTube.
and then also, if you don't have a business, but you know someone who is in business or should be in business, they have a talent that they should be monetizing, send them over here. Tell them to join. We here the third Monday, 8 o'clock.
Here. And I'm so full, and I just have a knowing that this is going to be expanded. I just know that it is. So we invite you to come join us. Come join us at the beginning while your business, there's nobody right now. Don't wait until there are hundreds of people trying to be have a spotlight and trying to give feedback. Don't wait. Like, come on in. As soon as this is over, you should be sending us an email at contact@speakupsis.com about your business so that we can prepare to give you some feedback and to help you. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up for the night. But before we do, I want to make sure that we get this giveaway out the door. So what you think? You think we ought to give them what? Because they really haven't talked to us a whole lot tonight. I'm like, what we want to give them tonight? We want to give them, should we give them $5, $10, $20, $50? What should we give them tonight? I don't know. No. What we giving them? Because I'm sitting here, I'm looking at YouTube. I don't see not one comment. I don't even know what to say.
Let me get on and make a comment so I can get
what we got going on. I'm gonna jump on over to Facebook really quickly and see who's over there.
And another thing, while you do that, we're not limited to the cleaning industry and podcasts.
Excellent.
Right? We have clients from all different types of industries.
It's a good point.
So let's be clear about that. Like I don't just deal with clients or people in the service industry. I have clients that sell products. I have clients that sell services. It's so many different facets to what we do. We're not limited. So I don't want you to think that we're just limited to what our industry is to be in.
Good. That's a good point. It looks like they're over in Facebook land. Okay. So this is what I'm going to say, because the giveaway, it's intentional. It's about me wanting to be a blessing to you for my birthday month, but at the same time, we are working to grow the YouTube channel. So the giveaway is specific to being on YouTube. So if you're not on YouTube, then you're not eligible for the giveaway. So tonight, it looks like we don't have anyone on the YouTube who's talking or chatting or anything like that. So this is what we're going to do. we're going to hold on to our giveaway tonight. And we will add it to the giveaway for next Monday. So that's a double giveaway for one person next week. So when we return for our very first full-on episode of Encouraging Experts, you all will have an opportunity at a really big giveaway prize. All right. So with that, if you will, please, Charnell, let the people know how they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at Charnell26. If you've been watching me since the beginning, you will know why that's funny. But
you're going to have to go back into the podcast vaults and go listen to the episodes with Charnell, and you'll know exactly why we laugh about that. You all already know you can find me at speakupsis.com. I'm also on Facebook as well as Instagram as Speak Up Sis Podcast. All right. And so with that, and we're going to work on our little catchy end of podcast thing. But for now, thank you so much for those of you. We see you, Tashura. We see you, Derek Moon on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Just remember, whatever you do, don't shut up. Open up your mouth and speak up. We'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.